video to update the end of section 4.1 in statistics. So we're just going to add the topic of critical values to the end of this section. So if you look at page 5 of section 4.1 in your workbooks, your notebooks, this is page 78 in your. We already completed this problem in the 4.1 workbook, but what I wanted to talk about was specifically this last part. Does a linear relation exist between the weight of the car? So we can actually go further than we went with this in a more statistical manner to figure out what the answer to this last question. And it's using what is called critical value. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the R value to the critical value for our sample size. And the critical value can be found in chapter 7 in your video notebook on page 155. Okay, so that's what we're going to take a look at. And it's provided for you when you take a quiz or homework and they ask you to do this in my math lab. So what we do is we can go to this table, and what we need to know before we go to this table is our sample size. So if I go back up here at the top, we can see in this case we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things in our sample. So we'll go to our page 155, and we can look at for 11, the critical value is 923. So what we do is, so our critical value was 0.923. And so what we do is we compare the absolute value of our R value, which is 0.964. And if the R value is greater than the critical value, then there is a relationship. Okay, so in this case, we get 0.964 is greater than 0.923. So we can say, yes, there is a linear relationship. Okay. So if you'd like to, at this point, you can pause the video and try doing the same thing for this next problem that is on the next page in chapter 4, page 79, that we already did. Okay, so in this case, there are 17 samples, so we're just going to compare this value here to the critical value for 17, which is 0.944. Okay, so our critical value in this case was 0.944, and we can see because 0.164 is less than 0.944 that no, there is not a linear relationship. Okay, so that's it for this quick update on how to use critical values to decide if there's a linear relationship.